Am I still a robot?
No.
Nope.
Okay, that's a good sign.
You are red balling a bit.
No.
At least you made it past the hatch.
I'm less concerned about that. I'm more concerned about everything else. One thing at a time.
The heck is a Toxapex? It's like drug. Sounds like a drugstore medications.
Yes, I want all my over-the-counter medications to have the word toxic in its name.
It sounds like a medicine to cure an ailment of your digestive system.
Do they have Mr. Yuck in Australia?
Alright?
There's like it's a
They what?
sticker. It's a sticker you put on like cleaning supplies and stuff, and it's called Mr. Yuck, and it's so children know not to drink it.
What? I don't think so. Mr. Yuck? Oh, Mr. Yuck, let me see. No. That's pretty cute.
Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
Home is full of lots of things that children shouldn't touch. Home is full of bad things that can hurt you very much. Now there's a man whose face is green that you ought to get to know. He'll warn you when danger's coming fast or slow.
Oh, it's old.
Get to know his face in every single place. When you see it, you'll know quick. Things marked
The
yuck
fuck?
make
This
you
is so
sick.
creepy.
Sick, 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 sick. Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
Oh man.
The next video it has is a 1950s PSA on homosexual.
Dangers involved that never meet the eye.
I mean, I guess this creepy style works on
Jimmy played
kids.
baseball all afternoon, and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride. he'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything.
There's someone here to see you. Are you?
I'll be back shortly.
Her qualifications.
Yeah, but that comes out of books. Qualifications, I assigned her to an inspection bench. Well, in a matter of days, that bench looked more like her dressing table. And then came the day when... Joe, will you take your stuff back to table 9? That'll be your bench for the time being.
Okay, Chief.
Myrtle, we're moving you to table number 10.
Is something wrong, Mr. Bradshaw?
No, nothing's wrong. We just need this space for something else.
Oh. Let me watch this. Why does this look like a Tom and Jerry opening scene? Opening title.
This may appear to be only monkey business, but in reality it's very serious, ladies. The demon with a glint in his eye and the little black gadget is a candid camera addict. Public menace number 1. For all the peeping toms of all the generations pale into insignificance with modern super peeper. While the scene you now see being sought to see the no longer safe, ladies, for homes. For this fiend is liable to be anywhere, hiding in the folds of your shower curtain. And let me warn you, don't cling to the idea a closed door will stop this snapshot sniper. It won't. For where there's a door, there's generally and keyholes simply bring out the peep in him. The victims of this focus fiend invariably end up in the soup. Sometimes the soup is only the photographer's developer. On other occasions, it's front-page notoriety. This all depends, of course, on who she is, what she did, and where she did it. He's no respecter of persons, this photophobia addict. And to illustrate my point, we'll just tag along as the super snooper pays a visit to the boudoir of a famous Hollywood personality, Elaine Barry Barrymore. As we edge up to the keyhole, we find Miss Barry just returning
What
from
is
a
this?
Hollywood party.
What?
It's 6:30 a.m. Of course, Miss Barry is
public
totally
service
unaware of
announcement.
our presence.
Like, really?
And therefore
Okay.
is completely at ease, doing the things she does naturally, without ostentation. In the old days, the
They have
boudoir was
6-minute
considered a sanctuary
PSAs?
where a lady could retire, if she wished to, in privacy. But in this age of
I guess they
snooping
call it
reporters
educational films, but
and
I always
candid
call them
cameramen,
PSAs.
nothing is sacred. In the flat below, there lives another Hollywood celebrity, Miss Trixie Fraganza. And she, too, is returning from a party. So let's settle here and now the question of how and how not to front of your husband. Down through the ages, women have paid meticulous attention to the matter of dressing. They have consumed hours and hours in getting just the precise effect desired. Each dainty garment has been donned with the utmost care and thought. No amount of time or effort has been considered wasted if the final result was alluring glamour. But ladies, when it came to undressing, that was something else again. Technique was thrown to the winds. Angles were disregarded. Charm and allure were entirely forgotten. Now, Miss Barry is unquestionably an authority on undressing, and I suggest that you watch her closely. Notice the ease and grace with which she slips out of things. No lost motion, no awkwardness. From all appearances, you'd think she'd spent her life undressing. That, truly, is artistry. Ah, there should be some developments here.
Married?
No, I'm afraid the developing has gone the limit. However, Trixie's been around, and when it comes to undressing, she should be able to show us a thing or two. Oh, now, Trixie, please, don't forget your bedroom manners. Back in the Barry boudoir. Now I'm sure we'll see something. For Miss Barry has excellent bedroom habits, and she unquestionably has it. Oh, she must have it, or didn't she capture the world's greatest lover? She not only knows how to get a husband, but how to keep him. A what? Well, that's what it says in the script. Ah, now we're getting right down to business. Wasn't that executed beautifully? Doesn't that prove beyond all doubt that it isn't what you obviously reveal, but what you artfully conceal that makes disrobing an intriguing art? Have you noticed the poise of the body, the rhythm of each graceful movement? To the appreciative, there is in a scene like this something truly uplifting. Yes, indeed. Style, charm, and distinction come from neither beauty nor money, nor a combination of the two. They are the simple result of aesthetic sense, cultivated taste, and a persistence in maintaining the lovely little tricks that every girl practices on her first sweetheart. Miss Barry has a subtle artistic ability to inject suspense into her disrobing. A most commendable habit, ladies, and one that should be universally adopted. Now, she's about to slip out of her slip. No, it's not a slip. It's her, well, let's skip it. To convey to you precisely what I mean by aesthetic sense, let's follow the candid camera to Trixie's once more, where that other celebrated taker-offer may be able to show us a few other wrinkles. Trixie, after all, you know, we're holding you up as a colossal example of boudoir finesse, and millions of women all over the world are eagerly waiting to see just how you do it. Come, Trixie. Let's get down to the foundation. It's easy to see how this gal puts up such an imposing front, Trixie. These ladies are all here to learn how to undress. They're not interested in how to take down an awning. They want to see your technique. Isn't that awful? The SS Normandy is in. Really, ladies, I'm terribly sorry. This sequence has turned out to be a perfect bust. Well, anyway, a bust. And that man's here again. Now, for a little light on a real subject. Let me see. What you going to do now? Rest? No, I believe there's something coming off here. Oh, yes, of course. The stockings. She has lovely eyes, don't you think? Well, to tell you the truth, I hadn't noticed them myself. You see, ladies, Miss Barry always rolls her stockings down from the top, never from the bottom up. That's a very good point to remember.
Nothing is sacred.
There's a delightful nonchalance about this little lady, a studied indifference that is certainly effective. Invariably, she keeps you guessing as to what she'll do next. A trick which never fails to intrigue the average husband. When Elaine rolls them, they stay rolled. I mean the stockings, of course. Trixie even gets into her own hair. Life is just a bowl of cherries to Trixie, but she's the pits. And take a look at the hooses she's got on her head. Those things went out with blind pigs. Well, they'd have to be blind to take Trixie out. How her husband must thrill to such exotic charms. No wonder he has business at the office. I'm afraid I'd have business in South Africa. This little pig went to market.
Should have stayed home.
You're a big girl now. Oh, look at that. Is that grace or disgrace?
You spent her life on this. Oh my goodness. It's great.
You're just wasting your time, Trixie.
Oh, shoot.
It'll take a broad axe to whittle that down.
Oh, what a battle.
Oh, really, Trixie, is that...
Oh.
You'll blow a gasket someday.
Well...
As it's turned out, you're probably gazing upon the greatest exponent of what not to do in a bedroom. To keep a husband, she'll have to keep him. Ah, but this is something else again. A soft, balmy night, dreamy music, and a touch, just the merest touch of some subtle perfume. Mrs. Johnson, that'll get him. You know, the average woman will use every bit of feminine trickery at her command to sell herself to the man she loves, until she lands him. And after that, she just sends him monthly invoices. I think this worry is about over, though. In a few moments, Trixie will fold up like a dump truck and call it a day. Yes, I was right. The dreadnought is about to drop anchor.
Oh, yeah?
Through the all-seeing eye of the candid camera, you have witnessed the correct and the incorrect method of retiring. In the instance of Miss Barry, you have seen how it is quite possible to disrobe quietly, gracefully, without effort. There's no need to get out of your clothes as though you were emptying a sack of potatoes. There's no point in leaving your bedroom like a cyclone that struck it. After all, Trixie, we like you, and fun is fun, but please, don't be primitive. As for you, Trixie, I'm cured. A do not disturb sign will no longer bring out the keyhole peeper in me.
To slip out of
You have quashed it completely.
Is that not that?
At last. We sigh with deep regret to think this lesson's done. Such sweet repose, such lovely power. And hubby's asleep. He's been out for an hour. And ladies, a final word of warning. This candid camera fiend is all about, and he'll expose you if you don't watch out.
How many times do I have to call you to dinner?
Good heavens, Molly, you're growing like a weed. I'm going to have to let that hem down again. Come on, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
You know, I've often wondered why it is that some women still call menstruation the curse.
I don't know. Peggy calls it that. And it is kind of a nuisance, isn't it?
I suppose it is sometimes. Just that it sounded sort of old-fashioned to hear you say it.
What are you two up to?
Oh, how are the fights, Jim?
Oh, not bad. Something wrong with our aerial, though. We ought to be getting a better picture than that. What was all the talk about in here? Is this a private conference?
No, I don't think so. Do you, Molly?
No, I guess not. You tell her, Mom.
Well, Jim, Molly's growing up. She's having her first menstrual period.
What? Already? Oh, but Alice, I thought... Well, I mean, after all, she's only...
Daddy, don't be so silly. I'm not a baby anymore.
I know, dear, but,
Oh, man.
No.
That's
No,
how every
honey,
girl
I
scratched
guess you
her
are.
body, though. 2 hands.
Growing up is fun, but some of the things Molly used to do seem a little silly now. Sometimes she gets all mixed up just thinking about it. She's changing from a child into an adult, and it's a little confusing at times. Molly had lots of questions about what was happening to her. It so happened I had a chance to answer some of them. Her teacher was sick one day and asked me to take her class. And this is true of women everywhere. So you see, menstruation is just the natural, normal process leading up to being a mother. This is a diagram of the uterus, or womb, and these are the fallopian tubes leading to it. And these the ovaries which produce the egg cells. Now, these egg cells are far too small for us to see, but once each month, an egg cell will leave one of the ovaries, go into the opening of the tube nearest to it, and then it's on its way to the uterus. Now, at the same time, the uterus has been preparing a growing place for this egg, a soft lining of blood vessels and tissues. If the egg unites with a male cell or sperm as it's on its way down the tube, it is fertilized, and then when it reaches the uterus, it settles down in this soft lining and begins to grow into a baby. But if the egg cell is not fertilized, it disappears. And then, since the lining is no longer needed, it too dissolves away. And it flows out of the body through an opening in the hymen, which is a membrane over the opening of the vagina. And so we say that we are menstruating. Yes, Barbara?
Miss Jensen, when does menstruation start?
Well, some girls start when they're 10 years old, and some when they're 16 or 17, or anywhere in between. But the average age seems to be about 13.
No, I mean what day of the week will it start? My mother starts on Tuesday. Will mine too?
Oh, it might, but it probably won't, because each girl's body sets up her own time and rhythm. And the time between periods may vary anywhere from 23 to 32 days. And the flow lasts from 2 to 7 days, also depending on the girl's own rhythm.
Miss Jensen, how often should you change napkins when you're menstruating?
Well, that depends on the amount of flow, but probably 5 or 6 times a day. And that brings up another point. Many of you girls haven't started to menstruate yet, but
Robot
when you do,
check.
you will want to use a sanitary
Hey.
napkin to absorb the flow. It's a soft, absorbent pad, and it's made to fit over the opening of the vagina and to follow the curve of the body.
I'm hoping everything's okay.
The tab ends are attached to a narrow elastic belt, which you can wear around
I
your
am
hips
really
or
sorry
waist.
about all of this.
Now, some girls
That's
prefer to use
wonderful.
tampons.
Unforgivable.
A tampon is a cylinder
It's fine, I've
of
been learning
absorbent
lots of
cotton
things.
inside a cardboard
You know,
applicator.
the weirdest
It is
thing
inserted
is
into
that
the
the audio's
vagina
been
by
working
means
the
of the
whole time,
applicator.
so have I.
The cotton absorbs the flow, and when it is full, you remove it and discard it. Yes, Molly?
Miss Jensen, is it true that people can tell when you're menstruating?
No, it isn't. But you should be more careful than ever about personal cleanliness and daintiness. Change your underwear more often, and be sure and use a deodorant. And pay more attention to your hair and your nails, and plan to wear your prettiest dress. In other words, be your most attractive self.